This video is continuation of my previous video on epithelial dysplasia. In my previous video, I have discussed about how does a cell turn bad, what is epithelial dysplasia, and few definitions related to this topic. In this session, we will be discussing about the features in what we see in epithelial dysplasia. When we say that dysplasia is presence of abnormal cells, we are sure to see changes in the cell because they are abnormal cells. They are the cells that have turned bad. And these changes we can see at two levels. That one is at a cellular level where individual cell has changed. Here is when the entire epithelium shows changes, it's called as architectural changes. So both these cellular changes and architectural changes, how much of it, the degree of these changes will help in grading epithelial dysplasia. In this video, we will be discussing about cellular changes, and the first change is nuclear hyperchromasia, where hyper means more, chroma means color. Here the nucleus takes up darker stain in H&E stained section in dysplastic epithelium. So here I am drawing two cells with the nucleus. One is the normal cell, this is the normal cell, and here is the dysplastic cell with hyperchromatic nuclei. You can see that the nucleus has taken up darker stain. Generally these cells are H&E stained cells, that is hematoxylin and eosin stained cells, and hematoxylin stains the nucleus, and you can see the nucleus as a dark blue ball inside the cell, and this is nuclear hyperchromasia. Here you can see normal epithelium and image with dysplastic epithelium. You can see the white circle in both. The normal epithelium shows no hyperchromasia, whereas dysplastic epithelium on the right hand side shows nuclear hyperchromasia. The second feature is increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. Here are the two cells. One is a normal cell with the nuclear cytoplasmic ratio of 1:4 or 1:5. 1:4 in a tissue block, 1:5 in a cytosmear. Whereas in a dysplastic cell, here the ratio is generally increased and which is around 1:1. In 2005 WHO list, the increased nuclear size was one of the features in cellular changes, but in 2017 that is removed and it's only increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. Now in these images you can appreciate the changes in nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. Here is a normal cell with the nuclear cytoplasmic ratio of 1:4. Here is a dysplastic cell with an increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio of 1:1. The third cellular change is abnormal variations in size and shape of nucleus. Size variations are called as anisonucleosis and shape variations are called as nuclear pleomorphism. Now we draw a set of normal cells. Sorry, they don't look normal. Let's draw uniform sized shaped cells, which are normal set of cells with normal shaped nuclei. Uniform shaped nuclei. Here are the group of cells which are of ununiform shape and sizes, and these are the dysplastic cells. These are dysplastic cells, and here you can see that these show variations in size and shape of the nucleus. This is anisonucleosis and nuclear pleomorphism respectively. Here is a group of cells. Orange are the outline of the cells, and here is the green, which green circles, which are the nuclei which are of uniform size and shape, that is normal epithelium. Here the nuclear outline are of different sizes and shapes, and this is in the dysplastic epithelium. This is basically the anisonucleosis and nuclear pleomorphism. The fourth cellular change is increase in size and number of nucleoli. Nucleoli are basically small basophilic spherical bodies in the nucleus. They synthesize ribosomal RNA and also ribosomal subunits. Here are the cells which a normal group of cells and this plastic group of cells I have drawn, and here are the nuclei. You can see that these are the small, inside the nuclei you can see the nucleolus, and in a normal group of cells the nucleoli which are seen in the nuclear membrane zone are up to 10 in every nuclei, but we only see 2 to 3 nucleoli which are basophilic in color, which is blue. This is because the something called as nucleolar organizing regions of specific chromosomes combine the several chromosomes nucleolus into common nucleolus. That is why in a normal cell we see only 2 to 3 nucleoli. In a dysplastic cell we can see more number of nucleoli. This is increased number of nucleoli, and they are basophilic in color, but in some cells, cancer cells, you may see pink or eosinophilic nucleoli as well. This increased number of nucleoli in dysplastic cell or cancer cell is because of increased synthesis of protein, because of increased demand of these cancer cells. Here is the normal epithelium photomicrograph with cellular and nuclear outline, and the arrow is pointing at the prominent nucleolus. Here is the dysplastic epithelium. You can see the box inlets with the, first let me draw the cellular outline and the green line indicating the nuclear outline, and you can see the increased number of nucleoli, that is 3 prominent nucleoli in that. There will be many more inside, but what we are able to appreciate at this power is 3 or 4 of them. In the rectangular box also you can see so many nucleoli, and also those small basophilic dots that you are seeing in the dysplastic epithelium photomicrography are all the nucleoli and the micronucleoli. This is how increased number of nucleoli look like. The fifth cellular change is the abnormal mitotic figures or atypical mitosis. Before we understand how the abnormal mitotic figures appear, let's understand how do the normal mitotic figures appear, the ones which are seen during the normal mitosis. First phase will be the preparation of the cell, and it is called as the interphase. After that comes the prophase, where the nuclear membrane is fragmented and condensation of chromatin happens, and comes the second phase where the chromosomes align in the center, and that is called as metaphase. After that is the phase where spindles pull the chromosomes apart to different poles, and this is called as anaphase. And the last phase is the telophase, where the two separate nuclei of the daughter cells are formed and the cell membrane starts invaginating, and this is called as telophase. Now we'll know which are the atypical mitotic figures. I'll be drawing all the atypical mitotic figures. Here is the first one with fragmented chromatin. Here where you will be seeing chromatin arranged in 3 arms, and it is tripolar. Similarly, we have something called as tetrapolar chromatin arrangement, and with multiple arms chromatin arrangement like this will be called as multipolar. And sometimes we will be seeing a small fragment of chromatin separated from the main bunch, and it's called as asymmetric fragmentation of chromatin. So all these are the atypical mitotic figures that we see in epithelial dysplasia or in neoplasia. I hope you can relate those drawings that we just learned to these real photomicrographs. Here is a cell with the fragmented chromatin material, and next is a cell with the tripolar chromatin, tetrapolar chromatin, and here with multiple arms multipolar chromatin, and here is a cell with a small bit separated called asymmetric fragmentation of chromatin. I want you to appreciate how abnormal mitotic figures appear inside the epithelium in a dysplastic epithelium. So here is the photomicrograph of mitotic figures, that is abnormal mitotic figures in epithelial dysplasia. The sixth cellular change is anisocytosis, which means variation in size of the cell. Here are a bunch of normal cells. You can see that they are all of uniform size, whereas the dysplastic cells show variation in size. Some are small, some are big, This is how anisocytotic cells will look like. Seventh cellular change is cellular pleomorphism, which means variation in cell shape. Here on the left side, we have normal bunch of cells showing uniform shape, whereas on the right side, where I'm drawing now, are all of different shapes. Also, variation in sizes that you can see. So this is called as the cellular pleomorphism in dysplastic epithelium. The variation in shape and size both go hand in hand. This is a photomicrograph of dysplastic epithelium in which both these features can be appreciated very well, anisocytosis and cellular pleomorphism. You can see that these orange lines that I am drawing, the circles, they show different sizes of cells, some are small, some are big, and this is anisocytosis. And here the black outlines which show that variation in shape of the cells, various types of patterns you can see outlining these cells, and this is cellular pleomorphism. Actually, a cell which shows variation in size may also show variation in shape. So these two go hand in hand, and both these features need to be appreciated in a dysplastic epithelium or in a group of neoplastic cells. Let's list out all the cellular changes that we have learned today. First one, nuclear hyperchromasia. Second one is increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. Third one, anisonucleosis and nuclear pleomorphism. Fourth one is increased size and number of nucleoli. Fifth one, abnormal mitotic figures. Sixth one is anisocytosis. Seventh one is cellular pleomorphism. Next we will be learning about architectural changes. That will be in my next video. Hope you all liked the way I have explained the epithelial dysplasia cellular changes. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and share, and most importantly subscribe to my channel. Please click on the bell icon to get notifications of my new release. Thank you. See you all soon. Bye.